Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome to another segment of our live broadcast on Wano. This evening, we'll be discussing on pressure to succeed in sports. Why so much pressure to succeed in football, especially football? Why so much pressure to succeed in football? If you think about sports, especially like I said about football, if you think about football, there are a lot of money. Numerous footballers have made significant, when I mean significant, a lot of money in football. Football as a sector has over $3 billion circulating around. You understand? Circulating around. And many of them, those footballers, have transformed their families from poverty to wealth. They've made money. They bring money to their family. They change their lives. They transform their lives. They transform their families. You understand? That's the money. So, what I'm asking this evening, that money that is circulating around about $2 to $3 billion circulating, that most of the players, athletes, they are all having a bit of that money. As a parent, why can't I pressure? Why can't I pressure my child to participate in some of that money making in football? Why can't I? Why can't I push my child a little bit? Do you understand? To take a bit of that money. Do you get me? That's what we're discussing this evening. Mind you, there's a number on the screen to call to join the program. Understand? So the number is on the screen there. +44 744 It's a WhatsApp call to join the program. You can call to voice your views, your opinion. Okay? Yes, so we're discussing why so much pressure to succeed in sports, especially football. Why is so much? Why is so much pressure to succeed? I don't know if where you're watching us from. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook as well. We are live on Twitter. So you can join us on any of those platforms. And there's a number on the screen to call to join the program. If you want to call on WhatsApp, the number is on the screen there. You call. If you're a parent out there watching us, if you are a coach out there watching us and you have something to contribute, you have an idea and you have an opinion and you have something that you want to say on this program, you can call us. And if you have a question, also, you can call, ask the question. Someone out there might answer your question. Understand? The line is free. Call one on now on +44 744 982 3876. Call now. The line is free. Okay. I will admit, I will just I will say that I was a bit lucky. I consider myself fortunate to be a parent and also a grassroots coach who can watch from the sideline. I've been there. I've been on the sideline as a coach. I've been there on the sideline as a parent. What I observed is that many parents and some coaches too, you can see them on the sideline. You can see them there watching their kids. You can see them watching their sons, their daughters. Once there's the whistle, you see that whistle, and the game starts. Most of them, they become overexcited that they even forget themselves. They forget that the football they are watching, the game they are watching, understand? It's not for them. They are not the ones playing it. They become overexcited. You can see some of them screaming. They're shouting at their kids. They're shouting at their children when they make a little bit of mistake. They made a little bit of error. You see them all screaming, shouting at them. To the extent that some of them might even they start calling them names, calling them names, calling them names. Because of what? Because of that pressure, over excitement. Overexcited, they are all excited. They were thinking that, yeah, the children are supposed to make mistakes and all that. You know, so I would like to say that here, some of them you see, then they forget the players playing are young people. The children playing are still young and they're about to make mistakes. I don't know. I don't know why. They're bound to make mistakes. Adults watching from the sideline, parents watching from the sideline, even some coaches too. They forget that the children, they're supposed to make mistakes and they will learn from their mistakes. So they become overexcited to the extent that you can hear their voices from there. They're screaming, shouting them, putting a lot of pressure on the kids, putting a lot of pressure on the young children that are playing. I don't know about other sports. Might be the same. Everyone, them, they shouting, they screaming out there. Overexcited, they're all shouting on the kids. Stuck in, go in there, get the ball. They call them names. Why? Why so much pressure on that? Why so much pressure to succeed? Why is there so much pressure to succeed? I would like you to call me. Call me. I would like to know why. Why is there so much pressure to succeed in sports? So much pressure to succeed in football, especially. Why? Why is that? Why is that? I'm just asking a question. Why is that? So much pressure. Everybody want to make it. Everybody want to like go in there. Parents or everyone. If your child is not playing, if your child is on the bench, the parents get angry. The girls start to get angry. They shout at the coaches. They get angry. They're pushing on the coaches. Why? What? Come on. My son has to play. My daughter has to play. Why so much pressure? Why so much pressure to succeed? Why so much pressure to make it? Why is there so much pressure? Is it that some parents they identify with their kids and desire to prevent them from making the same mistake they made when they were young? Some parents, some of them when they were young, the mistakes that they made when they were young, now they're looking at their children growing. They don't want them to make the same mistake. And now with that brings a lot of pressure on those children, a lot of pressure on those kids. Now they're pushing them hard. They're pushing them more harder. They're pushing them more harder. They don't want them to make the same mistake. They don't want them to make the same mistake. Call me. I want to know why there's too much pressure. So much pressure. So much on the children. If you go out there every Sunday, you see kids playing, every one of them playing. Parents bringing them, coming with cars, some of coming in a train, on them, some of them come with the buses. They come on the buses and they bring out their children. And they're pushing with something. Everybody wants that. a bit of that money circulating in football, $3 billion. They wanted the keys to make it. They want their keys to play for Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG. Many clubs around. They want their children to be in there. But in life, it's not meant for everyone. So, but parents now pushing their kids so hard, pushing them. Why is that pressure? Too much pressure to succeed. Why is it too much pressure to succeed? You see that pressure reflecting on the kids. You see that pressure, the mountain that pressure on them every day. They mountain that pressure on them on the pitch. They mountain that pressure on them on training. Even after training, they mountain pressure on the kids for them to succeed without even thinking about the detriment, what it's happening to those kids, what they are doing to them. And that's what we're discussing this evening. I want you to call me. The number is on the screen. You can call me. It's a WhatsApp number. You can call me direct on the number there, +447 +44 982 3876. That's the number to call. Call me. I would like to hear your voice. I would like to hear what you have to say. Why is there so much pressure to succeed in sports, especially in football? Having in mind that there's a lot of money circulating around, a lot of money in sports, a lot of money in football, especially. Even tomorrow, World Cup is going to start in Qatar. Only God knows how much they spend to host the World Cup. So everybody's going there. Everybody's eye is going to be on there. Many people are going to tune on the TV to watch it. Those that are there, they're chatting on. Some of them, their kids, they want their kids to participate in that. They want their kids to get to that level. Do you understand what I mean? So with that in mind, they bring in pressure. They mount pressure on them kids. They mount pressure on them. They mount pressure on them. So why? Why is there so much pressure to succeed? The line is open. Call me. I would like to know. If you're a parent out there watching, what do you think? If you're a coach out there, you're watching me, call me. I would like to know why. There's so much pressure to succeed. Call me. I would like to know why. There's so much pressure to succeed. Why are we mounting so much pressure on our kids to succeed? Many of them get involved in football. They started playing football from the young age. Some of them, they started playing football from 4 years old. Some starting 5 years old. Some starting 6 years old. They start playing early. Now, as they're playing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, they're playing every day, practicing every week, playing matches every Sunday. Getting to 12 years, 13 years. Some of them, they look burnt out. They look tired. They're getting fed up. They're getting angry because of a lot of pressure on them. They're getting tired. If you see them looking at them, they're getting burnt out. They are not enjoying the game anymore. They just want a situation where they can have an excuse to just get out. They want to get out because they're getting tired. Because there's a lot of weight on their shoulders. There's a lot of weight on them to make it. There's a lot of them, a lot of weight, a lot of things that they have to do, parents pushing them, grandparents pushing them, people around, everyone is pushing them. They're putting a lot of pressure on their shoulders for them to make it. They have to make it. And with that, you see most of them, they're getting burnt out. They're getting tired. They don't want to do it anymore. And when you get to that stage, what can you do as a parent? What can you do? In what way In what way can you encourage them? In what way can you, just like try to support them without putting pressure on them? How are you going to support them without putting pressure on them? How, in what way can you do that? When you noticing that they are getting fed up, when you noticing that they are getting what? They look tired, they look burnt out, they don't want to do it. So how can you encourage them? In what way can you push them a little bit? And that's what we're discussing this evening. And if you're out there watching me and you have experience, or you know how to encourage, or know how to support someone in that situation, call. I would like to hear from you. In what way can you do that? Because some of them, you see them, you're looking at the child, he has ability, he has all of that. But mentally, they're getting fed up. Mentally, they're getting burnt out. Mentally, they're getting frustrated. Because of what? That pressure on them. There's a lot of pressure on them. A lot of pressure on them. The game that they love, the game that they enjoy, now is turning to commodity. It's turning to something that they become a nightmare to them. When the child get to that stage, what will you do? How would you support them? In what way can you encourage them to continue? In what way can you encourage them? In what way could you try to carry them along so that they will not get away? They will not give up. They will not give up playing the game that they enjoy, playing the game that they love. So why is so much pressure to succeed in football? Why is it so much pressure? I would like you to call me. Call me, let me know. I would like to hear your voice. I would like to hear your thought. Why is it so much? Why is there so much pressure? Why is so much pressure to succeed? I learned the experience I had. One of the training or course that we went to, I learned from one of the coach that kids who participate in athletes, who play football, they have difficulty between the ages of 13 and 14 because of, you can call it side diversions, you can call it distractions. Some of them, they would start becoming involved with video games. They start getting involved with start having girlfriends, having boyfriends, start messing up with some gangs, messing up with some of their friends. They start skipping trainings. They don't want to come around again. They having that, they try to give excuses. They don't want to play anymore. They start giving up. To that age of 13 to 14, some of them, they even start when they are 12 years old and all that. And now when they get to that stage, they stop enjoying the game, and they don't. So, and then the question I want to ask is that, how can you encourage that child to continue playing? How can you encourage that child? How can you encourage that child to continue playing without putting pressure on them? I don't know if you understand. Because if he or she is start having that distraction around, they start having that diversion, they start playing games all the time, they're always on their video games. They're playing video games and all that. They start having some friends around, they're having some boyfriends or having some girlfriends, which at their stage, you can sometimes you cannot stop that. They're mixing up with school and everything. And they start giving up. They start giving up. And most of them, you see them, they have the ability. They're very good in what they're doing. They're very good in what they're doing. And as a parent, or even as a side coach, as a grassroots coach, you just like watching. In what way can you encourage that child without putting pressure on them? How will you do that without putting pressure on them? How will you do that without putting pressure on them? How will you do that without putting pressure on them? And you see that when some parents they're noticing that, when they start noticing this kind of attitude, they start noticing this kind of behavior, they get angry. Some of them they get disappointed because they see in their child diverting. They see in their child going in the way they're not supposed to go. Sometimes maybe they are not even watching them. They don't even know that that's what they're doing. They live in home. They will tell their parents maybe they're going to football. Why? They're not going anywhere. They just go somewhere else. So how are you going to do? In what way can you like control that? How can you encourage them? How can you encourage them? In what way can you assist them when they get to that stage? When the teenage attitudes are coming in what way can you assist them? In what way can you support them? In what way can you bring them back? In what way can you put them right without putting pressure on them? When we're talking about pressure, we're talking about pressure. Then you start asking, what is even pressure? What is pressure? Having in mind that some people they strive under pressure, right? They strive under pressure. They love it. Tell you that I bring out the best in them. Understand when there's pressure on them. Though some no, some of them they give up because of they don't have that strength to stand pressure. So how can you as a parent, in what way can you encourage that child? In what way can you encourage that child? When they start messing up with friends, when they start messing up, when you start seeing some little difficulties, attitude on their part, when they start trying to give up on what they know how to do, which is playing football. In other sports they can do, there are some of them they have ability in doing other sports. You see them, they're getting away from it. So what way can you push them? What way can you bring them back? What way can you put them right without putting pressure on them? Can you do that? What way can you do that without putting pressure on them? That's what we're discussing this evening. Discussing this evening. Why so much pressure to succeed in football? Why so much pressure to succeed in sports? Why so much pressure on our young children to succeed? Why are we parents giving so much pressure on them to the extent of making them to start hating what they enjoy doing? They want to play football. They want to play basketball. They want to play other sports they love doing. But because of the pressure parents are putting on them, because of the weight they have on their shoulders, It become a nightmare. It become a problem to them that they start giving excuses. They find ways to just get away from it. They don't want to do it anymore. So why? Why so much pressure? I said at the beginning, I said that numerous footballers make significant source of money. Yeah, they make a lot of money. Some of them have lifted their family from poverty to riches. They bring a lot of money to their family. They change their lives. You see some of them on TV. You see them with they give you their stories, the biography, and everything. They came from poor homes and all that. They change their family life. So then, as a parent, you start asking yourself, why can't I pressure my child? Why can't I push my child to participate in some of that money, just to get a little bit of that money? Over $3 billion circulating in football. So if I push my child a little bit, if I push my child a bit, there's a chance that he can get a bit of that money. So why did he push? Why is the pressure? Where is the pressure coming from? Why so much pressure? There's money to make. It's there. That is it. If you're making football, you change your parents' life, you change everything in your family. That is it. But how are you going to do that without putting so much pressure on them? How are you going to do that without putting so much pressure on them? To the extent that they give up. They don't want to do it anymore. They stop enjoying it. They stop enjoying the game. They stop enjoying it. They start looking for alternative. They start looking for something else they want to do because there's too much pressure on them. It's too much for them to cope. They cannot. I would like you to call me and let me know why so much pressure to succeed in football, to succeed in sports. I don't know which sports your child is doing. Can let me know why so much pressure to succeed. Some of our kids, they start playing early. They start very early. Early, taking them 5 years. You can tell them anything. They believe they just want to go out there and enjoy. They see them smiling. They just want to see their friends playing football. They just want to see their friends on the pitch. They don't know anything about money. They don't care about nothing else. They just want to get out there and play. Do you understand? They just want to have fun. Okay. Now they're out there playing now. What about the parents? A kid of 5 years old, a kid of 6 years old. The mom, dad are going to be there shouting at them. When the kid did it, make a little bit of error, mistake, they be shouting, screaming at them on the sideline. Some of them calling them names. You see them screaming, shouting at them. Why? Why are they overexcited? Why are parents so much, like overexcited? Forgetting that they are not the ones playing. It's not for them. Their time has gone. The time has gone. So they bring that excitement, they bring that pressure, they mount that pressure on that little kid, they mount that pressure on that young man, they mount that pressure on their child without thinking about their mental health, without thinking about if they can take it. If they can take it, what are they doing to them? What is it? What are they doing to them? This is Wano. If it is first time you're coming across us, please don't forget to subscribe. Forget to share this program. Okay. This from second week of from all right. So welcome back. We are still discussing why so much pressure to succeed in sports, especially football. Why so much pressure to succeed? I would like you to call me. Let me know why it's so much pressure to succeed. If you're a parent, you're a coach out there, take the phone and ring me. Plus 44 744 982 3876. 744 982 3876. Ring me. I would like to know why there is so much pressure to succeed in sport, especially football. Why? When your child start having boredom, when they start being bored, they don't, you see them, they normally wake up early. They get ready, they want to go to football. They arrange their clothes. They're excited. They want to go and play. They don't want to go and play football. But you start noticing now, they don't care anymore. They're becoming bored. They don't, there's no more excitement. There's no more, that zeal is no more there. They they don't enjoy it anymore. They start looking for options. They start looking for other things that will take their time. Especially when they get into like 12 to 13 years, 14, 15, 16. Now they're getting tired. Mentally, they're getting fed up. Emotionally, they stop enjoying it. They're having side distractions. They're committing themselves. Some of them even start having people that are like maybe having some friends that they just want to hang out with and all that. What will you do as a parent? What will you do? In what way can you correct them? In what way can you bring them back or put them right? In what way can you do that without putting pressure on them? Without putting pressure on them. In what way will you do that? In what way will you do that? When they're getting bored, when they start hanging out with friends, when they start making friends, they're having boyfriends and having girlfriends, which I don't see, maybe I don't say that is bad or something. No. But now it's taking much of their time, distracting them from that thing they love doing in whatever sport that they get themselves involved in. They're getting distracted now. So in what way will you put them right? What way, how can you encourage them without putting so much pressure on them? In what way can you do that? And that is the question. And that is the question. And that is what normally happens. If your child doesn't experience it when they're early, they will experience it later in future. They will, definitely. So in what way will you encourage you? What way will you like support? What way will you just push them a bit without putting so much pressure on them? How will you do that? We're discussing about sports. We're discussing about football. Tomorrow, the World Cup will start. Even every child will enjoy that. And most times, what happens is after World Cup, you see a lot of kids. They will start like they'll come back. Some of them that drop football, they would like to go back again. They want to go back to the pitch, understand, and go and play. They've seen most of their you know um, heroes, people that they admire, some of the players they look up to. They'll see them in the World Cup. After that, you see most of them, they go and get their boots. They want to go back. They want to go and start playing again. Now, as a parent, in what way will you support them without putting pressure on them? In what way will you do for them, just like see them so that they will enjoy playing the game? And you start making it about you, as you that is parent, you that is the coach, without making it about you. How will you do that? In what way can you try to keep your excitement and control your excitement, control your emotions as a parent, control your emotions as a coach on the sideline, watching your child, watching your kid, you're watching your young man, your young daughter playing it, enjoying the game. Can you allow them to enjoy it and just enjoy it without putting pressure on them? In what way will you do that? Can you do that? Is it possible? That's what we're discussing. Why so much pressure to succeed in sports, especially football? Why so much pressure? I know that someone can say that, yeah, to advance in everything in life, to advance in everything that you're doing, some people require push, some people require that, a little bit of pressure on them. You understand? You could say that a little pressure, some people might just, some of them will not give up. They will just like excel because you're pushing them. You like, trying to pressure them that they need that push, they need that pressure. Understand that some people, they can strive. They can strive when you push them. They can strive when you pressure them. They can strive. You see them, they bring out the best in them because mentally they are very strong. That is what they need. It brings out the best in them. It brings out the best in them. Then you start asking yourself now, those ones that cannot stand the pressure, as a parent, how can you balance it? How can you bring the right balance so that you will not overstretch the child, so that you will not push the child so hard? How can you bring the balance? How can you do that? You will not push them so hard. You will not overstretch the child. You will not overstretch them to the extent that they start having problems, having mental fatigue, having mental issues. They start looking for ways now to get away. They start looking for ways to give up. So how can you strike the balance? How can you, you know, the right balance between that pressure, over pressure, and a little bit of push. How can you do that? That's when, as a parent now, that's when your knowledge of your child comes in. Because if you study, if you watch your child slowly, if you watch your child, communicate with your child all the time, try to talk to them, talk to, like, have a word with them, you will notice if your child need that pressure. You will notice if your child doesn't need it. You notice maybe at that period he needs a break. You will notice that maybe they're having that fatigue. You can maybe notice that something is wrong somewhere. Then you need to do what? Try and find a way to support them. Find a way to encourage them. Find another alternative, something else that they love doing that can help them at that moment so that they can come back. Don't forget that I said football got about $3 billion circulating around. There's money in football, a lot of money. And because of that, every Sunday, most of the pitches, when you go to the pitches, if you go to the field, they see kids, young, different ages. They are all playing. Everybody want to play because they want a bit of that money. And most of them that have made it, they've changed their family's life. They've changed them. They changed their fortune. Some of them, they've taken their parents from poverty to riches. So why can't you? Don't everybody? There's no parents that doesn't want that. They want that for their kids. But in what way can you, put the right balance so that that child, that kid, that young boy, that young girl will enjoy the game, enjoy waking up, enjoy going there to play and enjoy it instead of doing what? There's no, so that they will not see it as a job. Nobody want to work. Nobody want to go to job. It's so much stress in job. Because a lot of people don't enjoy their jobs. But most of the footballers, they enjoy playing it because they enjoy it. So how are you going to put the right balance for them to enjoy it so that they can bring out the best to put in more effort to achieve that thing, the same thing that both of you want? In what way? How are you going to put the right balance? That's what we're discussing. That's what I'm just asking. Because I've seen the little time I've been in football as a parent, the little time I've been in football, even on the sideline, like I said to you, I was just fortunate enough. I was lucky just to be in there to watch the boys play, being there as a parent. Most of them, you see parents around you, the way they behave, the way they scream and everything, you be looking at them, what? These are young boys. They're just playing. They are bound to make mistakes. Allow them to make mistakes. Let them make a lot of them. They will learn from their mistakes. Instead of allowing their kids to make mistakes, what they do, they're screaming at them, shouting at them, calling them names. They're calling them names. They start comparing themselves with the kid on the pitch. Then you see some of them, when they finish, they don't want to come and play again. They're getting scared because they don't want to make mistake. They don't want you to call them names anymore. They don't need those abuse. They don't need abuse from the parents. They don't need abuse from the coaches. They don't need abuse from people around them. They don't need it. That comes with a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Some parents, after the game, instead of them to leave the whole thing there, They'll still take it home. They take it home with them. Inside the car, they be saying the same, cursing the child, calling names, a lot of things, calling them names. What do you expect the child to do? What do you expect the young boy to do? What do you expect the young girl to do? You're putting fear in them. Putting pressure on them. I think someone said, I think football academy are there to groom them. When enrolled, to reduce their pressure. Academies, football academies and all that has its own pressure on them. It has their own pressure as well. They are there to control. They are there, yes, to teach the children the right way to play football, yes. We're discussing about the pressure that comes from the parents, comes from the coaches as well. So much pressure. Why this pressure? Why is it too much pressure on them to succeed? Why so much pressure to succeed? Someone said that, what about people from Africa? Some people like Mane, some of them Mo Salah, some of them that walk 3 miles, 2 miles to go to training. To understand some of them, their parents didn't even go with them. They wake up, then they walk and go to training and go to football. Are you going to talk about pressure with that? Say those ones you can tell them whatever you want to tell them. What is pressure? They're already putting pressure on themselves to succeed. So they want to succeed by all costs. They just want to be there. I said earlier, I said, yes, there are some kids, there are some people, there's nothing like pressure on them. They even enjoy it. It makes them to excel. It brings out the best in them. Those ones are exceptional players. There are some kids, no matter what, they strive under pressure. They succeed anyhow you want it. Why there are some of them, they have the ability. You can see it there, they have it. They have it, they're very good. But mentally, they don't have that strength they don't have that strength. They don't have that mental strength. They don't have that mental strength. It's not only in football, it needs some other things, some other activities, even in class, in school. You can see them. They have the ability, but they don't have it. They don't have that mental strength. Any little, any little push, any little pressure on them, they will give up. They will give up. Fear will take over. Anxiety will take over immediately. You see them, they become the shadow of themselves. They become someone else. Then they're looking for excuses. They're looking for something so that they will give up. They will get away from that. So those kind of people, how are you going to get the right balance? How are you going to encourage them as a parent, as a guardian? In what way can you encourage them? You need to study your kids. You need to like communicate with them. You need to talk to them on a daily basis. You find out stuff about them so that you find a way to put them right. Find a way for them to enjoy that thing they're doing so that they will excel. They will excel in it. They will excel in it. Okay. Like I said earlier, I said, put it Okay. So we're discussing on why so much pressure to succeed in football. Why so much pressure to succeed in sports? Why so much pressure? And we asked, how can you put the right pressure, the right pressure? How can you put the balance between that? How can you put the child right in order to bring success to your family, in order to bring that thing that you're expecting for the child without putting too much pressure on them? Like I said earlier, I say some parents, some of them, they identify with their kids and desire to prevent them from making the same mistake that they made when they were young. And with that, they're pushing them, more harder, they're pushing them more harder, putting more pressure on them. And when you're doing that, you need to get the right balance so that you will not put so much pressure on the child for them to give up. Okay. So if you're joining us for the first time, like I said, thank you. And if it's the first time you're coming across Wano, don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. It's a program that we do one of sometimes on Saturdays. Football is starting tomorrow. World Cup is starting tomorrow. That's the reason why I just want to encourage everyone, encourage all the parents, encourage the kids. Those are in sports, those are in football. Even if you at the moment you are giving up, you are becoming bored, you're looking for an excuse to get away from football. No, this is a good sport. If you make it through football, you will change your parents' life. You will change your own life. You will change your family. So don't give up. Don't give up. If there are some distractions, if there are some of your friends that are trying to, take you away from that game that you love playing, leave them. Find an excuse to just get away from them. Focus yourself back to what you love doing, which is football. Go out there, get your boot on, go back and enjoy it. Go back to pitch and play football. Go back there. If you're a parent out there, find a way to encourage your children. Stop shouting at them and screaming at them. That is all I have to say. And that's all I have to say this evening. Understand that if you stay with us to this time, I would like to say thank you so much. And those that participated, I say thank you all. And I will see you all next week. You've got Tyrese. Don't forget to share this program. Thank you.